The Council crossed the line. Humanity finally lost its patience. The Council had ruled over the stars for longer than humanity had dreamed of leaving Earth. Its presence was everywhere, quiet but strong, like the weight of a heavy hand pressing on the shoulders of every colony. Humans had once been proud explorers, free and curious, but now every step they took in space required approval. Every settlement, every mining station, even every small freighter had to report to the Council. The rules were endless and the punishments were harsh. On Earth, in the capital city of New Boston, Liam Harper looked out at the crowded skyline from his small apartment. The air was thick with tension. Ships constantly traveled in and out of the orbiting docks, and every broadcast reminded citizens of the Council's authority. Liam was not a politician or a scientist. He was a pilot, trained for speed, for danger, for freedom. He hated the feeling of being watched. He hated the feeling of waiting for someone else's permission. "Another message from the Council," his sister Clara Morgan said as she entered the apartment. She was a scientist, brilliant and careful. Her eyes were always scanning, always calculating. She held a tablet filled with information. "They're inspecting colonies again. Kepler 42b is under review. They want every shipment accounted for." Liam snorted. "Under review? They'll take whatever they want anyway. They always do." Clara shook her head. "It's more than that this time. Their reports suggest violations. Small things humans wouldn't even notice, but the Council doesn't care. If they find something, they can shut down the colony." Liam ran a hand through his hair. "So what? Another blockade, more fines. We've seen it before. Why should it matter now?" "Because this time," Clara said quietly, "they're using new technology. They can turn off entire power grids, entire cities from space. One signal and the colony dies." Liam felt a chill. He had heard rumors of the Council's new devices, but he had thought they were just stories. He never imagined they could actually be that powerful. "That's insane," he said. "It's real," Clara replied, "and humanity can't ignore it anymore." Far away, on Kepler 42b, Ethan Lewis stood on the balcony of his small administration building. The planet's thin atmosphere gave a pale blue light to the horizon. Mining colonies dotted the surface like small metal islands. Ethan was in charge of this colony. He had worked here for 10 years, building homes, repairing machines, keeping people safe. And now the Council wanted control over everything he had built. "Maya," he said to his deputy, Maya Scott, "they're sending inspectors. They think we broke rules." "I know we didn't, but they don't care. They want to take our resources." Maya frowned. She was calm and strong, with eyes that could see through people. "We can't let them, not quietly, not anymore. The colony depends on these supplies. The people depend on us." Ethan nodded. "I know, but we need a plan. We can't fight them directly. Not yet. They'll crush us." Back on Earth, Liam and Clara sat in their small lab, going through records and reports from colonies across human space. Every few minutes, Liam would curse under his breath. The Council had already taken over one small settlement in the Vega system. Residents had been forced to leave or face the consequences. Another colony in the Tau Ceti system had its communications cut off. It was only a matter of time before the Council would come for the larger colonies. "This is getting worse," Liam said. "They don't just want control, they want obedience, absolute obedience." Clara nodded. "And humans are not made for obedience, not like this. If we don't act soon, we'll lose everything." Liam leaned back in his chair, staring at the ceiling. "What can we do? We're just two people." Clara smiled faintly, almost sadly. "We're not just two people. We can start by telling the truth. The Council hides everything. If people know what's really happening, they might stand up. They might fight back. It starts with knowledge." The next day, Liam prepared his ship for a journey. The Terran Alliance had given him special permission to travel to frontier colonies to check on the status of human settlements. Officially, it was for research. Unofficially, Liam wanted to see the truth for himself. Clara had given him a small data drive with information she had gathered. "If anything happens to me," she said, "take this. Show it to people who will listen." Liam nodded. "I won't let it go to waste, I promise." His ship lifted off from Earth, cutting through the atmosphere and leaving the crowded planet behind. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, a sea of possibility and danger. Liam knew that the Council would monitor his journey. Their eyes were everywhere. But he also knew that humanity had to be brave. On Kepler 42b, the Council's inspection fleet appeared on the horizon. Massive ships hovered in orbit, casting long shadows over the mining colony. Residents watched from below, anxious and fearful. Children clung to their parents and workers stopped their machines. The air felt heavier with each passing minute. Ethan and Maya gathered the colony leaders in the main building. "They're here," Ethan said quietly. "We need to be careful. They will try to find something, anything to punish us. Stay calm, stay organized, and no one panics. That's the best defense we have." The council's inspectors landed, stepping out in sleek suits that seemed to glow with faint energy. Their leader, a tall figure named Varric, spoke with a voice that sounded polite but cold. "Humans of Kepler 42b, we are here to ensure compliance with council regulations. Any deviation will be noted and addressed." Ethan stepped forward. "We follow the rules. You will find nothing here to punish." Varric's eyes glowed slightly through his visor. "We will see." Inside his ship far above, Liam monitored the situation. He could see the inspectors moving through the colony via satellite feeds. Something felt wrong. The council was not here for a simple inspection. They were testing, probing, finding weaknesses. Liam knew that if he did not act, the colony might not survive. He sent a small message to Clara. "Kepler 42b under inspection. They're testing limits. Prepare for interference." Clara replied instantly, "I'm on it. I'll see what I can do from here." As the day wore on, small conflicts began. Council drones checked mining equipment and systems began to shut down temporarily. Workers were pulled from machines for questioning. Panic started to ripple through the colony. Ethan clenched his fists. "They're trying to scare us. Don't give them what they want." Maya placed a hand on his shoulder. "We won't, not yet." Meanwhile, Liam coordinated with Clara to gather evidence of the council's interference. Every malfunction, every illegal inspection, every unnecessary delay was recorded. They knew that someday, this evidence would help humanity understand that the council had crossed the line. By evening, the council inspectors had grown frustrated. They expected humans to be submissive, but these settlers were not weak. They organized themselves, continued working, and even protected each other from harassment. Varric's voice came through the colony's speaker system. "This is unacceptable. Compliance will be enforced." Ethan stepped forward, voice firm. "You have no right to threaten us. We follow the rules, but we will not be intimidated." The message was clear. Humanity was tired of waiting. The fire of resistance had begun. On Earth, Liam and Clara watched the events unfold, hearts pounding. "This is just the beginning," Clara said. Liam nodded. "The council thinks they can control us. They think we will wait and obey. They don't understand humans. They've never met people like us." Clara smiled faintly. "Then let's make them understand." Night fell on Kepler 42b. The colony lit up like a small island of light against the dark sky. Humans worked through fear, through uncertainty, through the shadows of power. They did not know what tomorrow would bring. But they knew one thing: they would not bow quietly. Somewhere in the stars, the council watched. They did not yet know that humanity was preparing to fight back. They did not know that patience had a limit. They had crossed the line, and humans would not forget. And so the first sparks of defiance were lit. The long shadow of the council loomed over the colonies, but humanity was beginning to rise, small and fragile, yet stubborn and unyielding. The story of rebellion, of courage, and of a species refusing to be controlled had begun. Liam looked out at the stars again, feeling a mix of fear and hope. He knew the road ahead would be dangerous. He knew there would be losses and sacrifices and moments when it felt hopeless. But he also knew one simple truth: humans were not meant to live under chains, no matter how shiny or powerful those chains seemed. Clara joined him, looking up at the sky. "We're going to make them see," she said softly. Liam nodded, gripping the control panel of his ship. "Yes. We're going to make them see, and humanity will not be silent." The stars stretched endlessly, and humanity's journey into defiance had begun. The sun rose slowly over Kepler 42b, painting the horizon with pale gold light. The colony looked quiet from afar, but inside, the tension was thick. After the council's inspection the previous day, the people had not slept well. Machines hummed in the background, miners checked their equipment, and guards patrolled the perimeter. The fear of the council's retaliation was real, but so was the determination of the settlers. Ethan Lewis walked among the workers, nodding to them, trying to show calm. He stopped by a small group of engineers who were repairing the colony's power grid, which the council drones had partially disabled. "We have to finish this quickly," he said. "If they try to shut us down again, we need to be ready." Maya Scott, standing nearby, spoke softly but firmly. Everyone stay focused. Don't panic. They want to see fear. We can't give it to them. Meanwhile, far above, Liam Harper piloted his ship in a quiet orbit. He had stayed close to Kepler 42b since the inspection began. His eyes scanned the colony through the ship's sensors. Clara Morgan, working from Earth, fed him live data. She could see the Council ships approaching, and her voice came through the comm link. "They're sending more drones," she said. "They want to make sure nothing escapes their control. It's not just inspections anymore. They're testing. They're looking for weaknesses." Liam clenched his jaw. "Then we'll show them there are no weaknesses. Humans don't break that easily." On the surface, the Council drones hovered above the colony, scanning buildings and machinery. Varric, the lead inspector, watched through his visor, his glowing eyes cold and calculating. "The humans are clever," he said quietly to his assistants. "But cleverness will not save them from enforcement." Ethan stepped forward, addressing the inspectors. "You have nothing to enforce. We follow all your rules. Your visit is unnecessary." Varric's voice was calm but firm. "Compliance must be verified. Any irregularity will be noted and corrected." The humans ignored the warning and continued their work. The miners moved quickly, repairing broken machines. Guards kept the inspectors at a distance. Children stayed inside homes under the care of volunteers. Everyone knew the Council would try to intimidate them, but no one panicked. Back in orbit, Liam prepared for action. He had been authorized by the Terran Alliance to assist colonies in emergencies, but what he was about to do went beyond instructions. He initiated the ship's defensive systems, ready to intervene if the Council tried anything aggressive. Clara, monitoring the Council network, frowned. "They're preparing a larger strike fleet," she said. "If they act, this colony could be destroyed." Liam tightened his grip on the controls. "Then we act first. We protect them no matter what." Hours passed, and the tension grew. The Council drones started shutting down sections of the colony's power grid. Lights flickered, machines stopped, and communication lines went dead for short bursts. The settlers felt the weight of control pressing down on them, but Ethan kept his voice steady. "Keep working," he said. "Don't let them scare you. One system down is not the end. We can repair it. We always do." Maya moved among the workers, helping where she could. She whispered encouragements to frightened engineers. "Focus on the task," she said. "They can control machines, but they cannot control us." Liam watched from above as the Council grew frustrated. Their plan had been simple: show force, intimidate the colony, and assert dominance. But the humans were not intimidated. Their defiance irritated the inspectors more than any weapon could. Clara, sitting in her lab on Earth, hacked deeper into the Council's communication system. She tapped into their sensors, tracking the drones, recording every action. "I've got it all," she said to Liam. "Every move, every violation, we can prove they are acting unfairly." Liam nodded. "Good, keep watching. I'll stay here until they leave or until we need to act." As the day wore on, tensions reached a breaking point. A Council drone moved toward the main power hub, attempting to disable it completely. Ethan shouted orders to his guards. "Stop it. Do not let them shut it down." The guards ran forward, trying to push the drone back, but it hovered just out of reach. Liam, seeing the danger, activated his ship's remote interference system. A pulse of energy disrupted the drone's controls, forcing it to retreat. The settlers cheered quietly. It was the first direct success against the Council's technology. Ethan smiled, relief mixing with determination. "We can do this," he said. "We can protect ourselves." But the Council was not done. Varric's voice came through the colony speakers. "Your interference is noted. Escalation will follow," Clara grimaced. "They're planning to bring in a strike fleet, bigger ships, more drones." Liam's jaw tightened. "Then we prepare. They want a fight, they'll get one, but we fight smart." That night the settlers gathered in the main hall. Families huddled together while leaders discussed strategy. Ethan spoke quietly, calmly, but with fire in his eyes. "We have survived this far. We can survive more. The Council thinks we will be afraid, that we will obey. They are wrong. We protect our people. We defend our home. That is all that matters." Maya added, "We will not fight recklessly. We will defend, we will repair, and we will document everything. The truth will be on our side." Far above, Liam looked down at the colony. The lights glimmered like stars on the ground. He felt pride, but also fear. He knew that the Council's retaliation could be swift and deadly. "Tomorrow," he said, "we take the next step. We show them humanity will not be controlled." Back on Earth, Clara prepared messages for other colonies. She sent warnings, advice, and support. Humans across the Terran Alliance began talking quietly, sharing the evidence of Council overreach. The spark of resistance was spreading. By morning, the Council's strike fleet appeared in orbit. Massive ships blocked the view of the sky, their shadows stretching across the planet. Drones swarmed the colony, disabling systems and scanning buildings. Varric stood at the lead, calm and precise. "You have pushed too far," he said. "Resistance will not be tolerated." Ethan, standing with his guards, faced the fleet without fear. "We will not bow to you. We follow rules that are fair. You do not. Leave us alone." The Council ignored him and moved to attack. But Liam, from orbit, had anticipated this. He launched small fighter drones, using the colony's terrain to hide them from the Council's sensors. They harassed the larger ships, drawing their attention and slowing their approach. Clara worked frantically, hacking Council communications. She created false signals, hiding the movements of humans from the enemy. "Keep them busy," she told Liam. "We need time for the colony to prepare defenses." Inside the colony, workers repaired damaged equipment and armed basic defensive systems. Ethan coordinated repairs and defenses with calm efficiency. Maya helped organize volunteers, ensuring that everyone knew their role. "Stay ready, stay alert," she told them. "We may not have weapons like theirs, but we have courage, and that counts for something." The first confrontation came when a Council drone tried to land near the main supply depot. Humans fired small defense systems, improvised and crude, but effective enough to force it away. Liam's fighters joined, attacking drones in the air, keeping them occupied. Varric frowned, irritated by the unexpected resistance. "This is unacceptable," he muttered. "Humans are not supposed to fight like this. They are supposed to obey." But the humans did not obey. They worked together, repaired systems, protected one another, and refused to give in to fear. The colony had become a small fortress of defiance. By the end of the day, the Council retreated slightly, regrouping in orbit. They had caused damage, but the humans had survived. The settlers celebrated quietly, knowing they had stood up to power greater than their own. Ethan and Maya looked out at the horizon, relief in their eyes but determination in their hearts. "This is just the beginning," Ethan said. Maya nodded. "We've shown them we can resist. Now we need to prepare for what comes next." Liam and Clara watched from above and from Earth. The first battle had been small, but it had changed something fundamental. Humanity had proven it could fight back. They had shown courage, unity, and intelligence. The Council had expected obedience, but humans had delivered defiance instead. Clara typed a final message to colonies across human space. "The Council underestimates us. They will continue to test, but we will continue to resist. We are human, and humans do not obey chains." Liam stared at the stars beyond the colony. "Tomorrow will be harder," he said. "The Council will come back stronger, but we'll be ready. We have to be ready. Humanity cannot be ruled by fear." The night fell on Kepler 42b, peaceful in appearance but alive with determination. Humans worked quietly, preparing for the next move. The Council had crossed the line, and humanity had finally lost its patience. In the shadows of space, resistance was growing. Across systems, humans whispered plans, shared messages, and trained for the inevitable confrontation. What had begun as fear was becoming courage. What had begun as compliance was becoming defiance. The first battle had been won, not with firepower or numbers, but with unity, intelligence, and courage. Humanity was learning that to survive against the Council, they would need more than obedience. They would need everything they had, and more. Liam and Clara looked at each other, tired but determined. "We have a long road ahead," Clara said. Liam nodded. "Yes, but we've already started, and we will not stop." The Council had tried to dominate, to control, to intimidate, but humans were not afraid anymore. Humanity had taken the first step toward reclaiming its freedom, and the spark of rebellion had begun to burn brightly in the darkness of space. The warning lights blinked across Liam Harper's ship as he hovered silently above Kepler 42b. The Council had retreated after the last skirmish, but it was only temporary. Liam knew they would return with more force. Humans had proven themselves capable of resistance, and the Council would not tolerate that for long. Clara Morgan's voice came through the comm link, steady but tense. "Liam, I've been analyzing their fleet movements. They're regrouping in the nearby systems. I think they're planning something big. We need to warn the other colonies and prepare for coordinated defense." Liam nodded. Understood. I'll reach out to Ethan and Maya. We can't fight them alone. Far below, Ethan Lewis and Maya Scott were organizing the colony. Workers repaired damaged equipment and volunteers learned how to operate improvised defenses. Supplies were stockpiled and communication systems were reinforced. Everyone understood the stakes. Fear was still there, but courage had begun to replace it. We need more than just defense, Ethan said to Maya. We can't wait for them to attack again. We need to strike where they least expect it. Maya frowned. Do you mean go on the offensive? Ethan nodded. Not reckless attacks, but careful strikes. If we can disrupt their supply lines or communication systems, we can level the field a little. Meanwhile, across other human colonies, whispers of rebellion were spreading. Settlers shared stories of defiance, and the knowledge of council abuses reached ears that had long been silent. On planets near the Alpha Centauri system, colonists began training in secret. On smaller freighters traveling between stars, humans tested new weapons and defensive strategies. Humanity was quietly uniting across the void of space. Noah Bennett, a former engineer from Earth, had become a central figure in this effort. He worked tirelessly with other engineers, designing modifications for old freighters, turning them into agile combat ships. His group had limited resources, but they made the most of what they had. They reinforced hulls, installed energy shields, and crafted weapons that could counter Council drones. Noah, we need more speed, one of his assistants said. Their ships are too fast for our current engines. Noah shook his head. We make what we have work. Humans are smarter than the Council expects. They count on us being predictable. We're not. Back on Kepler 42b, Liam coordinated with Ethan and Maya. We'll start with small strikes, he said. Drones, sabotage, misinformation. If we can disrupt their fleet before they attack, we gain the advantage. Ethan nodded. We can do that. The colony will support it. Volunteers are ready. People want to fight, not just survive. Maya added, we'll also need to protect the people who can't fight. Families, children. We can't risk innocent lives for a plan that isn't solid. The first operation began at night. Small freighters, retrofitted with engines and weapons by Noah and his team, left hidden bays under the cover of darkness. Liam piloted one of them, using stealth systems to avoid detection. Clara hacked into the Council's sensors, feeding false readings to hide the human movements. The target was a supply convoy moving from the Council's staging station near the outer rim. The convoy carried fuel, weapons, and supplies for the next wave of attacks. Disrupting it would slow the Council and buy colonies more time. As the human ships approached, tension ran high. Liam's hands gripped the controls, his eyes scanning the stars. Everyone ready? He asked over comms. Ready, Ethan replied. Let's make them regret underestimating us. The attack began. Small drones from Liam's ship disabled the convoy's sensors, while other ships targeted engines and cargo bays. Explosions flashed across the dark void, and Council ships scrambled to respond. But the humans had prepared for this. They used the terrain of asteroid belts to hide and strike from unexpected angles. For hours, the battle raged silently in space. Human ingenuity and quick thinking allowed them to escape with minimal losses. Council ships regrouped, frustrated at the audacity of the human pilots. Meanwhile, on Kepler 42b, the settlers celebrated quietly. They had seen their allies succeed. Courage was contagious and hope spread across the colony like fire, but the Council was far from defeated. Varric stood on the bridge of his flagship, glaring at the reports. Humans are becoming dangerous, he said. They are not just resisting, they are striking back. Increase fleet readiness. Do not underestimate them again. Clara smiled faintly as she monitored the battle from Earth. They think they can intimidate us. They don't understand humans at all. Over the next several days, human colonies coordinated strikes across multiple systems. Small freighters disrupted supply lines, disabled drones, and sent messages to other colonies warning of Council movements. The Council began losing control over regions that they had considered secure. Noah Bennett worked day and night, modifying more ships, teaching pilots, and refining strategies. We can't stop now, he said to a group of young engineers. Every day we wait, the Council grows stronger. Every day we act, we show them humans cannot be controlled. On Kepler 42b, Ethan and Maya prepared for the inevitable retaliation. They'll come back stronger, Maya said. We need to be ready for anything. Ethan nodded. We've made them respect us a little, but the real challenge is ahead. We need to unite all the colonies, every capable human, for what's coming. Liam returned to the colony one evening after a successful mission. He stepped onto the ground, exhausted but determined. He was greeted by cheers from workers and volunteers. Children peered out from windows, curious and wide-eyed. Liam smiled, feeling the weight of responsibility. Clara joined him, her eyes bright. They're listening now. Humans across colonies are watching what we're doing. This is no longer just Kepler B. This is all of humanity. Ethan approached them. We need a plan. The Council won't let this continue. They will strike back with everything they have. We need to be ready. Liam nodded. We've been patient. We've defended ourselves. Now it's time to show them that humans are not weak. We strike smart, coordinated, and with purpose. That is how we win. Maya added, we also need allies. Other alien species might not like the Council either. If we can show them humans are not to be underestimated, we might gain support. The coming weeks were filled with preparation. Humans repaired damaged colonies, modified freighters, and trained new pilots. Communication networks expanded, allowing instant coordination across systems. Humanity was slowly learning that unity and courage could be as powerful as technology. Then the Council made their move. A large fleet appeared in orbit around Kepler 42b. Massive ships blocked the horizon, and energy weapons hummed across the void. Drones swarmed the colony, attempting to disable defenses. Ethan and Maya organized the settlers quickly. Families were moved to safe shelters, while volunteers prepared defensive positions. Liam and his team took their positions in orbit, ready to strike. Clara's voice was steady in their ears. I've created false signals to confuse the Council's sensors. Use this to your advantage. They won't know our full strength. The first attack came from the Council drones, but humans had prepared. Improvised weapons, hidden in the terrain, disabled several drones. Small freighters struck from hidden angles, destroying supply ships before they could reach the colony. The Council flagship fired energy beams, but Liam's pilots maneuvered quickly, using evasive tactics taught by Noah. The human ships were slower but smarter. They anticipated movements, exploited weaknesses, and struck precisely where the Council was vulnerable. Ethan and Maya coordinated defenses from the ground. Hold positions, Ethan shouted. Protect the colony. Every human here is part of this fight. Maya guided volunteers to repair damaged systems and help wounded settlers. We are stronger than fear, she said. Remember that. Hours passed with constant clashes. Humans fought with courage, intelligence, and determination. The Council began to retreat, unable to overcome the unexpected resistance. Liam's team used the opportunity to strike at the Council's supply lines, forcing them to pull back further. Finally, as night fell over Kepler 42b, the battle ended. The Council fleet had suffered losses, and the humans had survived with minimal damage. The colony had defended itself, and humanity's courage had been proven once again. Ethan, exhausted, looked over the colony. We did it, he said softly. But this is only the beginning. The Council will come back, and they will come stronger. Maya nodded. We are ready. We've learned how to fight. We've learned how to protect each other. We are not afraid anymore. Liam and Clara joined them. Humanity has started to fight back, Liam said. We've shown them that patience has limits. The Council crossed the line, and now we will not stop. The stars above Kepler 42b shone bright, silent witnesses to the determination of humans. Across systems, other colonies watched the fight, inspired. The spark of rebellion had grown into a flame. Noah Bennett looked at the battle reports from Earth, smiling faintly. We've done more than survive, he said. We've shown that humans can stand against anything, and we will continue to stand no matter what comes next. The Council had underestimated humans. They had thought patience would keep humans obedient. They had thought fear would keep humans in line. But humans had learned, quickly and decisively, that they would not be controlled. The story of defiance was spreading. The message was simple. Humans would fight for freedom, for survival, and for each other. And in the darkness of space, that message shone brighter than any star. Humanity had taken the fight to the Council, and there was no turning back. The stars stretched endlessly as Liam Harper's ship led a fleet of retrofitted freighters and fighters toward the Council's staging station in the Outer Rim. The humans had trained, planned, and prepared for weeks. Every ship, every pilot, every plan had been tested and refined. The council had thought humans would wait, obedient and fearful. They had been wrong. Clara Morgan monitored the council's communications from Earth. Her fingers moved quickly across her console as she intercepted signals and scrambled messages. "They don't know we're coming," she said to Liam over the comm link. "Their fleets are in orbit, but they are scattered. We have the element of surprise." Liam nodded, eyes fixed on the display before him. "Good, keep it that way. This is our chance. We strike smart, coordinated, and fast. We protect the colonies, and we show the Council that humans are not to be controlled." Far below, on Kepler 42b, Ethan Lewis and Maya Scott organized reinforcements. Volunteers prepared small defensive stations, ready to help if any Council forces tried to retaliate. Every colony in the sector had been warned, every settlement prepared. Humans were no longer scattered and alone. They had united. Noah Bennett coordinated from the Central Fleet Command. "All ships ready?" he asked over the comms. "Engines checked, weapons calibrated, shields at maximum." "Yes," came the replies from pilots across multiple colonies. "We're ready," Noah nodded. "Then let's begin." The human fleet approached the Council station carefully, using asteroid belts and planetary shadows to hide their movements. Drones flew ahead, scanning for patrols, while small fighter ships prepared to strike key points of the station. Liam's voice was calm but firm. "Remember your training. Target communication arrays and power generators first. Disable them, but avoid unnecessary risk to the station itself. This is a strike to show strength, not to destroy. We need the Council to understand humanity's power, not destroy everything." The first engagement came when Council patrol ships detected the human fleet. Energy beams cut across space, lighting up the void. Human pilots dodged with agility, using unconventional maneuvers taught by Noah and refined by Liam. Small explosions flared as drones and ships collided, but humans were ready. Clara's voice guided them. "Left flank, evade their main line. I've created false signals in their sensors. Use it to your advantage." The humans moved like a single unit, coordinated and precise. They struck the Council's supply lines, disabled drones, and avoided unnecessary damage. Each maneuver showcased human ingenuity. Each strike proved that humans were not predictable, not controllable. Ethan and Maya watched the operation from the safety of Kepler 42b. "They're doing it," Ethan said quietly. "They're showing the Council we're not afraid, that we won't bow." Maya nodded. "It's more than just fighting, it's a message. Humanity is united, strong, and ready to defend itself." Hours passed with careful strikes, harassment of Council forces, and calculated maneuvers. Human ingenuity and coordination slowly turned the battle in their favor. Council ships were forced into defensive positions, losing the initiative. Noah Bennett smiled as he watched the reports. "We've done more than survive. We're winning. They underestimated us, and it will cost them." Finally, Liam and his squadron approached the main Council station. Its massive structure loomed ahead, dark and imposing. But the humans were not afraid. They had prepared for this. They had trained, planned, and united. This was the moment to show that patience had limits. "Target the main power generators," Liam instructed. "Disable them simultaneously. We strike as one." The human fleet moved with precision. Fighters targeted key points while freighters launched drones to disrupt the station systems. Explosions and sparks flashed across the void as circuits overloaded and shields faltered. Inside the station, alarms blared as Council officers scrambled to respond. Varric barked orders, but chaos spread quickly. Systems failed, communication arrays went offline, and supply lines were cut. The humans had achieved what the Council thought impossible. On Kepler 42b, Ethan and Maya watched the energy flashes across space. Volunteers cheered quietly, knowing their allies were striking a decisive blow. "They're doing it," Ethan said. "The Council is losing control." Clara worked tirelessly, ensuring Council communications remained jammed and their sensors confused. "They don't know what's real and what's false," she said. "Every move we make is hidden. Humanity has the advantage." As the final coordinated strike hit, the Council station's defenses collapsed. Liam led a direct assault on the command deck, using precise maneuvers to avoid destruction. Council officers surrendered, realizing they had underestimated humans for the last time. Varric faced Liam, his glowing eyes filled with frustration. "This is not over," he said. Liam shook his head. It is over for now. Humans will not bow to anyone. We will defend ourselves. We will not be controlled. Ethan and Maya coordinated efforts on the ground, securing captured equipment and assisting survivors. Colonists worked alongside volunteers from other settlements to repair damage and prepare for any remaining threats. Noah Bennett guided the human fleet back to safety. "We've made our point," he said. "The Council will think twice before interfering again. Humans are no longer patient, and we will not be controlled." Across human space, colonies celebrated. The message was clear. Humanity had proven itself. Humans could resist, fight back, and survive against the most powerful forces in the galaxy. Clara and Liam communicated with colonies across multiple star systems. "This is just the beginning," Clara said. "We've shown the Council that humans will defend themselves. Now we must unite, train, and prepare for the future. We are no longer small or divided. We are strong, intelligent, and capable." Ethan and Maya returned to Kepler 42b's administration center. Volunteers cleaned up the colony, repaired systems, and restored normal life. Families embraced, knowing they were safe for now, and settlers began rebuilding stronger than before. Liam stepped onto the ground, exhausted but proud. "We've done it," he said. "We've shown them that humanity has limits, that patience can end, and that courage can overcome fear." Maya smiled. "This is more than a victory. This is a warning. Humans will not be ruled, and we will protect what is ours." Clara joined them, carrying reports and communications from across human space. "The Council will retreat for now. They will reassess, but humanity has sent a message they cannot ignore. We are united, and we are strong." Ethan looked out at the horizon, his voice quiet but determined. "The galaxy will remember this. Humans are not weak. Humans are clever, brave, and unafraid. We've taken the first step toward independence, and there is no turning back." Night fell over Kepler 42b, peaceful but alive with energy. The stars above seemed brighter, reflecting the determination of humans below. Humanity had fought, survived, and triumphed. In orbit, Liam and Clara watched the Council retreat. The fleet had suffered losses, but humanity had gained something more valuable: confidence, unity, and proof that patience had a limit. Noah Bennett smiled as he reviewed the human fleet's status. "We've done more than defend ourselves," he said. "We've changed the future. Humans will continue to explore, colonize, and defend, and the Council will have to respect that." The colonies across human space began rebuilding stronger, sharing knowledge, weapons, and technology. Communication networks expanded, and humans prepared for a future where they were no longer under the shadow of the Council. Ethan and Maya stood together, looking at the repaired colony. "This is just the start," Ethan said. "Humanity will face challenges, but we've proven we can overcome them. We're ready for the future." Maya nodded. "Yes, and the galaxy will know humans are not to be underestimated. We fight, we survive, and we protect each other." On Earth, Clara typed a final message to all colonies. "The Council crossed the line. Humanity has finally lost its patience. We will no longer accept control. We will defend our freedom, our colonies, and our future. The stars belong to humans as much as anyone else." Liam looked out at the vast sky, feeling hope and determination. "We've won this battle, but the war for freedom is ongoing," he said softly. "We'll face whatever comes next together." The stars stretched endlessly, silent witnesses to humanity's courage. Across the colonies, humans looked to the skies with pride, knowing they had faced one of the most powerful forces in the galaxy and had not only survived but triumphed. The Council had underestimated humans, and that mistake would be remembered. Humanity had taken the first step toward true independence, unity, and recognition in the galaxy. The story of defiance, courage, and survival had reached its turning point, and humanity would never again bow quietly to anyone. For the first time, humans looked at the stars not with fear, but with determination, knowing they were strong, united, and ready to defend everything they had built. The future belonged to humanity, and they would face it together, unafraid and unbroken.